Hey guys, Phobia again. Today we have some huge shadowpriest changes. I will start off saying right now it is mostly buffs, okay? Don't get scared about what you guys have seen. I know you have seen some of it already. If you haven't, positive, these are good changes. All right? Let's go right into it. All right? We're going to go over the shadowpriest stuff right here. So our powered shield is going up by 1%. It already wasn't an ability you wanted to spam. You wanted to use it on damage, or else you'd go So like you didn't want to just spam powered shield, right? If somebody was a chaos pulse coming in, you'd powered shield. If you're getting bursted on, you'd powered shield. Like you use it to counter damage, not just have it up, right? So already it's a 1% more mana, which translates roughly into 25% more mana, 20% more mana than we already had. So it's still not that bad. Now, this is juicy here, right? Vampiric Touch increased by 10%. Shadow Word Pain increased by 10%. Apparitions and Devouring Plague. So, essentially, all of our dots are increased by 10%. Well, you guys already know the build that I run, right? The build that I run is a consistent damage dot build and proc build. Well, I've had huge success with it. All my ratings are super high, and the current buffs we're getting only complements the build that I run. All right? Void Bolt damage got buffed by 20%. Now, this could make running Void Eruption enticing, right? With the Void Bolt and having the goes. But for me, what really hinders me from using Void Eruption and Void Form over Dark Ascension is the fact that it's a 2-minute cooldown. I like having a big go every 1 minute. It's more pressure, and especially because this is all based off procs. Right? So every 1 minute I can buff my Mind Blast, my Mind Spike, my Mind Flay, all my instant damage, my Devouring Plague on hits, right? My Mind Bender. Every 1 minute my Dark Ascension buffs that. So still going Void Eruption still doesn't. I still don't think I'm gonna do it just because having to wait 2 minutes for a big go or 1 minute for all my damage. I'm going to go probably with Dark Ascension. But it is nice for people who are running Void Bolt. Void Bolt does do a lot of damage already, so this is going to buff that. So if you are running Void Eruption, this is a big benefit to you. All right, Mind Blast, Mind Spike, and Mind Flay, like I said, 20% buffs across the board. That's freaking insane. You guys already, like I said, I run the consistent proc build, and I run Psychic Link, so all these are buffed in Psychic Link, right? All these damages do damage to everybody else in Psychic Link build. Well, all this is buffed by 20% now. So literally the entire build that I run, that I've been running, is completely buffed now. So all I hear is, cool, I am now 20% stronger in the build that I'm already running and already doing really good at. So I love it. Out of God's Shiraj, all y'all out there that are running that one-shot gimmicky stuff that I told you guys not to run, no one's going to run it now. Went from 15% damage to 5. Everybody comes to my stream. I tell you this all the time. Do I not? I don't like Josh Raj. It's gimmicky. Too many globals to set up. I don't think it's worth it. Well, now it's definitely not worth it. So most people are gonna end up running what I run. I have to assume. So I'm already used to it, and all you who have followed my guides are already used to it. So you don't have to worry about this. But yeah, we did get a nerf to our big one shot. If you are running it, I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. All right, now we have PvP side of stuff. We're going down here to Shadow PvP. All right, this is where the nerfs are, chat. This is where we're getting our nerfs. Our Void Volley Horror is going from 3 seconds to 2. Again, 3 seconds to 2. It's still a 2-second horror. Still worth it in my opinion. It's melee cleaves. It's still going to get the horror. Still going to let you set up your things. And they can get hit multiple times. So it does not. I don't feel like this is that big of a deal. But it does suck, obviously. The damage of Void Volley. Now, this is a little bit weird for me, considering the Void Volley damage doesn't really do that much damage to begin with. So I'm very surprised to see it be nerfed by 30%. Now, again, I only use Void Volley for the horror. So it losing damage really isn't that big of a deal for me because I literally only use it in melee cleaves for the horror effect. So it does, obviously, it sucks to lose damage of something that doesn't really do too much damage, but at the same time, it still won't affect me in the way I use it. So yeah, it's a nerf, but not that big. This one kind of sucks a little bit. Powered Shield loses 20% PvP combat. So essentially what that comes down to is about 2,400. Oh, no, sorry. 4,000 less. Sorry, I wasn't calculating right. 4,000 less on your shield. So it's going to go from like a 30,000, 26 to 30,000 to about 22 to 26,000 depending on how you get your shield. Obviously, if you get a crit shield, it's different, but you're gonna see a little bit of it. It's gonna make it so you make sure you don't spam as much. And our biggest nerf that we've gotten so far is gonna be our VE. All right, so this roughly comes down to 12% less healing. We're getting VE nerfed by 20%, so it's gonna go from 62 to about roughly 50% of our damage done. So that's a double nerf since last expansion, right? So we went from 85% single target damage to 50 now overall from last expansion. But here is something I want you guys to think about that no one's thinking about when it comes to VE. Yes, we're taking a 12% nerf to our healing on VE. This is correct. But it's not actually 12% nerf in healing in total because we got buffed in all of our damage. Well, what does more damage mean? More damage means more healing, right? So during your VE, you're going to be doing 20% more damage on your damage, 10% on your dots. So you're not actually going down 20% on VE because you're doing up to 20% more damage in total. Now, it's going to equate to about 10% nerf in healing in total, even with the buffs to damage, right? But people aren't thinking of it that way. They're like, oh no, VE's getting nerfed. Yes, but our damage is getting buffed, and our damage from VE, our damage is what heals us during VE. So you have to think of it that way. A lot of people out there are not even thinking of it that way. So don't worry too much about it, guys. We're still going to have insane healing for sustainability things. Obviously, it doesn't really matter in threes as much, right? VE doesn't really keep you alive in threes. It just sustains you a little bit. So you're not going to note it in the 3v3 bracket as much. It's more noticeable in twos and solo shuffle. I would say in world PvP, obviously. So don't stress, guys. It's fine. Now, Shadow Word death damage reduced by 20%. If you're running the death build, this is gonna hurt you. Now, you guys know I run not Painbreaker, Death Speaker, but I don't run the Pain and Death talent, right? I don't run the extra one-shotty death damage build. So for me, I really only use my Death Speaker as an extra proc so I have damage that I don't have to cast. So yeah, this is gonna suck damage-wise. It's gonna suck losing that extra damage on that. It's like essentially if I had death and pain and death or whatever it's called talent, now it'd be like if I didn't have it at all. But again, I'm still only using Shadow Word Death as a proc to do damage on a go, so I don't have to sit still. I can just hit people while I kite. So for me, it sucks, but it's still going to do good damage. I'm not really worried about it. And really, I like having Death Speaker for the finishing touch, right? Got a Death Speaker proc, get somebody below 20% HP, Death Speaker, you get 300% more damage, boom, right? So that's really what I use Death Speaker for, is the big finishers, but it is obviously going to be noticeable, guys. All right, now we have a developer note here. shadowpriest self-sustain is too high in PvP, so we are making targeted adjustments to their healing. Additionally, we are targeting Void Volley and Idol of Yashiraj. As we've seen, could lead to frustrating situations with minimal counterplay when paired with other instant cast damaging abilities. Sure. Again, I don't use Idol of Yashiraj. You guys know this. This does not affect me in any way. Our healing got a little bit nerfed, but our damage got buffed, so we're kind of countering it that way. So overall, guys, this really comes down to huge damage buffs, because people already know we are very consistent pressure base right now. We have damage all the time, which has not been seen since MOP for Shadow Priest. This just gave us more, right? This just buffed our consistent damage across the board. It buffed my proc build across the board. So what does that mean, guys? If you're already running my build and you already feel strong with it, you're going to feel a lot fucking stronger, because now it's consistently doing 20% to 10 to 20% more damage all the time. So overall, guys, huge buffs for Shadow Priest, minimal nerfs. We'll freaking take it. Not to mention, if you guys go over the rest of the tree, a lot of people have been nerfed in their sustain as well. So their sustain gets nerfed, our damage gets buffed, dampening's higher. That means our damage matters more. I will go over one quick thing before I end this. They are buffing a lot of certain melee's consistent damage. Mainly, they nerfed Windwalker Burst, but they buffed their consistent pressure of damage. They buffed DK's consistent pressure of damage. So the downside to this is they can continue the trend where melee buff their consistent pressure. We're gonna see a BFA / Shadowlands type gameplay where it doesn't matter how much damage a Shadow Priest does at this point. If we can't sustain, we lose before our damage becomes critical or becomes sustainable enough for the team to rot. So we do have to look out for these changes. Seeing melee get consistent pressure and still have burst windows means Shadow Priest is going to be on the back foot if they keep nerfing sustain. Not just Shadow Priest, but they're nerfing locks, they're nerfing druids, they're nerfing everybody sustain. So we have to watch out for melee consistent pressure. For all you melee out there who want to be like, oh, you're complaining. Well, there's a reason why metas are the way they are, right? Consistent melee pressure with burst means casters cannot live to have their damage be viable or be impactful. So we'll see. But at the moment, Shadow Priest is so not casted that why we're so good in the meta, right? With all this damage coming out, Shadow Priest, their damage is instant, most of it. So we can probably continue to just run people over most of this expansion, I do believe. So that's all, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you guys thought about my opinions on these, and leave a comment and a like below. It really does help the algorithm. I hope you guys have noticed I'm trying to put out as much content for you guys as possible, multiple types of content now. So I'm going to continue to try doing this all through Dragonflight. Come out to the twitch.tv/Aphobia Gaming. Even if you just lurk, the more views, the more embeds, the closer we get to partner. It's really helping me out a lot. Again, the viewership's going up a lot. I really appreciate all the love, all the primes, all the patrons coming through, all the subs. Every day, you guys showed so much love to the channel, and I really appreciate all y'all. I'll have a new video coming out soon, and I'll see you next time.